Hey, y'all. It is time for another Magical Monday behind the curtain. I don't know why I always have to do my hands like that, but I do. So, what is present for me this week that I'm called to share is I'm sitting with this idea of the lag between insight or consciousness and nervous system truth. So, if you've followed me, you know that I'm pretty much always in some sort of phase of transformation or transition. That's kind of how I do life. And I am especially so now. And my family is based on, my partner going through his own thing. I'm going through mine. So we're talking about evolving our physical home. We're talking about I'm exploring the ongoing process of evolving my business and therefore continuously shifting my identity because I impact my business very directly. And so what's interesting to me that I'm called to share is insight is the easy part about these things. And we live in a world where we are taught the message that if we know a thing, that's enough. And I am here to say that is the easy part. Knowing the thing or having awareness, like saying, of course, transition creates stress, obviously, right? Or of course, I am divinely supported and guided, right? It can be on either side, the very human side, the very intuitive divine side. But then we have these bodies. And what I know in my own life is that it does not matter how much of this I have in place that feels so true. I have to help my body feel safe, feel heard, feel acknowledged, feel nurtured and nourished. And so I'm here to say, get curious about what's going on with your body rather than trying to steamroll it. I often fall into that pattern because insight's so clear to me. I'm so connected to the upper realms that it's easy for me to forget this body that actually is imprinted with not only my own history, but my ancestral line and, the collective imprinting. And my nervous system literally has that stamped in it. So it's going to be resistant to change. It's going to be scared. It's going to have these old protective patterns not only exist, but dig in deeper. And so it's everything from, I listen to what it needs. Does it need more stillness? Does it need meditation? Or does it need dance? Does it need play? Does it need to shake, right? Like I have a big toolbox of nervous system regulation, thanks to my time as a therapist and somatic therapist. And still, it is challenging because I overlook it sometimes. And so I encourage you to get curious about what your body needs as you continue to honor what your consciousness knows. And there will be tension. There will be a difference between what your body wants and what your insight is supporting as far as what it knows. And so the body represents the past and the consciousness, and I'm not talking about like what your brain spins as far as fear. We're not talking about that circus. We're talking about higher guidance, the call to more, the call to expansion. And know that that's job is to take you to bigger, to take you to better, to take you unapologetically into the unknown. And the body, it doesn't know anything other than the past. And so there's this conversation of honoring the body and what it has experienced in the past and greeting it with compassion and approaching it with tools that support that healing, while also listening to the voice that says, and guess what, there's more. So it's like having two friends, one who's kind of the more scared, reserved one, and one who's like, let's go. And so that tension is perfect, is what I want to say. I'm reminding myself that every day right now. Like the tension is on purpose. And I mean that on purpose, because It's the integration point. That tension is where that axis of future possibility and past drama, trauma, and experience intersect. We don't get to either or it. I've tried. I like that one way better. We must sort of weave them with love and compassion together. And even just having that awareness that our body's going to say one thing and our consciousness is going to say another is a huge step. So I invite you to be with me in that practice. We are in a massive phase of collective transition, and we can either fight it or go with it. But part of that is learning to build capacity for that inner tension that exists when we integrate the two. That's it for today, y'all. Have a great week.